Hi, I'm Katharina Reiter. I'm a digital transformation manager for Etribes, and I previously managed different e-commerce and digital transformation projects for the Swarovski Group.
Hi, I'm Michael Harp, partner at Etribes. I spent the last 20 years in helping corporates and clients formulating digital strategies and digital business models.
Today we want to tell you about how Etribes tackles digital strategy projects and how you can benefit from our approach.
So let's jump right into it. Enjoy the video.
Digital strategy always needs to be part of the overall strategy. You cannot think company strategy without digital anymore.
The digital strategy will serve as a guiding framework to make the right decisions, to allocate the right budget to the right initiatives, projects, etc. That's why we like to call them the big tickets.
It's really important that you consider different parts of the strategy to make sure that you have a plan for the future that you can actually follow. So something that you need to consider as part of a strategy is the vision.
It should ideally answering why we should deploy digital innovations, where to play, and how we're going to serve future changing customer needs. The how should be described in 3 to 5 strategic imperatives, which should be ideally very tangible, easy to understand, and should be set with a clear ambition level. So sometimes companies get bogged down by the complexity of their digital challenges. As a North Star, it will help them to recalibrate, hold in, and make sure that they're still on the right track.
And I think the North Star is really a good metaphor for a strategy, because a strategy should always be something that guides your decisions and actions in a company, and it should be something that everybody in a company can follow.
Honestly, every company can benefit from a digital strategy. A lot of companies think they might never be affected by digital challenges because they have been successful in the past. But will this last forever, and will they be ready for it?
From my perspective, there is no company anymore that can just disregard digital strategy or digital topics. From customer and consumer perspective, it is expected that you can get access to the resources that you want to have in a digital form, no matter if it is products that are sold or services that are sold. Your customers or consumers, they really want to see your offering in a digital form.
First, it implies that the management team need to address the digital challenges for their existing business model, no matter how successful they have been in the past, because nothing lasts forever. Second, it creates a level of confidence and motivation among all stakeholders, because they clearly see that the company is dealing with the future challenges. And finally, it helps to make the right decision, as to allocate the right resources to the right location in the right time and to make the business sustainable.
Digital initiatives are growing and people see things that need to get done, but you also need to prioritize. So the digitalization world is changing so fast, and the expectations that our customers have, they are changing so fast that you just cannot do everything. You really need to focus, and if you don't have a strategy to focus on, you might focus on the wrong things. So what you're doing might still be useful and helpful, but it may not pay into this bigger picture that you have and into the core things that you want to achieve as a company, and also into the core things that your customers are expecting from your products or services.
There are, of course, various risks not to have a digital strategy. First is to miss opportunities, and windows of opportunities are rare species, we all know. Opportunities like creating new digital products around existing services, entering new markets, or attracting new talents. Another risk is to get lost in the operational muddling through, and this will lead to demotivation, sunk costs, and at the end also prevent you to attract the right talents for your company. First step, start a vision sprint. Create a North Star based on sufficient information, 80-20, and hypotheses as a guiding principle and transformation purpose. Step 2, agree on key strategic imperatives. They will help you to focus on the big bets for your transformation journey. Step 3, build a high-level roadmap. Set the right scope for your key initiatives that drives you towards your North Star. Step 4, get regional buy-in. validate your vision and your roadmap on the go as early as possible with your local markets and stakeholders. And finally, execute and adapt. Get your MVPs on the road to validate your strategic initial hypothesis and objectives. These 5 steps of an agile strategy approach will help you to navigate your business in times of uncertainty and ambiguity.
But make sure that you always validate at every step of your strategy development process if what you define in the beginning is still valid and still holds up, or if it is not. And if it is not valid anymore, you need to adapt and change it to make sure that your strategy is also lasting and also adapts to the needs of your company, to the needs of the markets, and of course to the needs of your customers. A strategy can definitely change. So what's important is that you do define this long-term picture and the North Star you want to follow. But in terms of the specifics, in terms of how you follow this North Star, or in terms of what you need to do in order to get there, that's something that definitely needs to change. And you should always have this in mind, that you need to adapt to your environment and to changing needs. Everything gets faster. Expectations from customers change faster as they did in the past as well. And you need to make sure that your strategy can also adapt to those fast changes in the market situations, or the fast changes in terms of what your customers and consumers actually expect. You need to define core initiatives that you can follow in order to work towards your strategy or your vision. And you need to make sure that you also identify any kind of quick wins that you can gain from your defined strategy, things that can be done fast and hypotheses that can be tested fast in order to validate if your strategy actually works out or does not. Because defining a strategy in theory doesn't necessarily mean that it actually also works out.
I'm convinced that Etribes can help you to formulate your digital strategy successfully. We bring a fresh entrepreneurial perspective in your strategy formulation approach. We are customer advocates because every strategy has to start and end with the customer. They have a change in behavior and a change in needs.
We really want to understand what you need, and we really want to know the details and make sure that what we develop fits for you specifically. This would include using your available capabilities within the company. Are there any additional customers that we could approach with a new product or a service? And how does that actually work in terms of digitalization and in a digital world? And something else that we can help you do is innovate. So if you want to approach a new topic that doesn't include your current capabilities and may not even be there in terms of your competitors yet, we can also support you in creating new products of things that are not even known to you yet, and really support your innovation process and make sure that we build up an organization in your company that supports innovation.
Etribes brings agile into strategy. Because today, corporates cannot invest weeks or months in finding the right answers for today's digital challenges.
So what comes next is also making sure that your operating model works for the strategy you defined, and to make sure that the operating model is actually implemented for your organization. And we also need to make sure that any digital initiatives that you plan are actually implemented, to make sure that the strategy is tested, to see if it works, and to make sure that it's actually implemented for your organization. And at Etribes, we can really support all of that. And we will always already consider those implications when we develop a strategy for you, to make sure that you can implement it with or without us. I hope today you got some interesting insights why digital strategy is so important and how we can help you with our Etribes approach.
If you have any questions, write us a message, subscribe to our newsletter. You find the contact details below this video on our page.
We are looking forward to your message. Goodbye.